Hey guys, Trevor here from Let Us Drone. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. Today we're going to look at Course Lock. It's an intelligent flight mode from DJI. I wrote an in-depth article about this. You can find that at letusdrone.com/courselock. And I go into all the details you ever want to know about this flight mode. Basically what Course Lock does is it sets the course of your drone and you can fly down that path without having to worry about adjusting the roll of the drone. You can adjust the yaw and the drone is still going to head straight down that path. So picture like railroad tracks, okay? The drone will stay on that course, on that track, until you instruct it to do otherwise. You still have control of the roll of the drone, right or left, but you don't have to use it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump in the air and I'll walk through what Course Lock looks like in action, and I'll show you how to enable it and talk about some good times to use it. All right guys, here we go. Okay guys, so we are airborne. First thing you need to do is get airborne with your drone. You cannot access Course Lock until you do so. Next thing, tap on the intelligent flight mode menu, scroll through until you find Course Lock. Select Course Lock, and here we are. It's going to show the heading of the drone, and I can either yaw to the right or to the left, whatever direction I end up with the nose pointing, and I hit apply, that's what direction the drone will fly at. So if I hit apply right here, there we are. I'm going to hide this menu so we have more view of the screen. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn around. So now the drone's nose is facing the same direction that I'm facing. All right. Now what Course Lock does, picture a railroad track. Picture the drone is on a railroad track. It will only fly forward or back on that track. You can yaw to the right and to the left, and instead of the drone flying in that new direction, typically if you were to yaw to the right, the drone would proceed to head in the direction of the nose. Well, in Course Lock, if you yaw to the right, it's going to continue on straight like you're on a railroad track. Now, you can roll to the right or to the left, and Course Lock will not be thrown off. You can roll to the right and then push forward on the pitch stick. It's still going to head in that direction. Okay, so let's give an example of what that looks like. I'm still facing the same way the drone is, and if I go forward on the pitch stick, there we go, the drone's going to proceed to fly overhead. Now check this out. I can yaw to the right, and instead of the drone flying to the right, it's going to continue on that same path. All right, so if you see here, I'm doing a 180 with the drone. Pretty soon I'll be back in the frame. There I am. Okay, we'll stop here so I don't run into that fence. Now, that's what Course Lock is. So let's go ahead and reverse that. Okay, here I am. So, you may be wondering why you would use an intelligent flight mode like Course Lock. Well, if you would like to get smooth footage of a subject as you fly by that subject, that's difficult to do when you're in normal mode because you have to control both sticks, right and left stick, and also the gimbal tilt. So that's a lot going on for your thumbs and your mind, your brain. So what Course Lock does is, like we were talking about, it keeps the drone on that track, that fixed track. So you simply have to focus on the yaw and the gimbal tilt and pressing forward slightly on the pitch stick. So let's give an example. I'm going to have the drone fly by me, and I'm going to attempt to keep me in the frame. I'm still in Course Lock here. Now I'm going to take a couple steps this way as the drone was flying right overhead, and I'd rather it not run smack dab into me. So here we are. And I might quiet this down in post-production because this is going to get noisy. Okay, so there you are. There's an example of course lock and an instance where it may come in handy. You don't have to use course lock to get nice footage of a subject as you fly by it. It just makes it a lot easier to do. And also, you don't have to use course lock to get footage of like a static subject that's not moving. You could maybe get footage of, I don't know, a car on a bridge that's a straight bridge, obviously. You would set the course to parallel the bridge, and the drone would simply fly on that course, and you can control the camera so you can keep the car in the frame at all times and get some nice shots that way. One thing I want to mention is obstacle avoidance is enabled in course lock, but keep in mind that some drones have sensors that others don't. And also, if I start out the drone flying right at me and then I turn the drone to the left, if I yaw to the left, it's no longer going to be the front sensors that would sense an object that the drone was flying towards. So be cognizant of that and don't rely on your obstacle avoidance like with any other flight mode. Get creative with how you use course lock. I showed you a quick example of the drone flying by me. Typically you would get shots in a more cinematic location, not the middle of a baseball field, but you can also change the height, the elevation of the drone as you are flying in course lock, along with gimbal tilt. So I'll go ahead and fly through, give you a couple videos of what that looks like, just some different examples. And also, one more thing I want to mention here is you may be concerned that the drone is going to fly too close to your subject. So what I recommend is doing a test flyby before you actually go through to get your recorded shot. So for instance, the drone right now is in front of me. I'm not sure if the drone would hit me or not if I were to proceed forward. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little test here. If I push forward on the pitch stick, well, it's getting pretty close to my head. I'll go back a little so it's not so loud. Now, if I were to want to give myself a little leeway, I could simply step a couple steps to the right, or I would simply roll to the right, I don't know, a couple feet. That way I ensure that when I fly forward here, look at that, the drone's not going to hit me. All right, so here's a couple more shots of different angles that you can get. One last thing I want to mention, this type of flyby is typically called a dolly shot. Cinematographers use a fixed cart where they can put their cameras on, and that cart will go down the track, and they can control the camera to keep whatever subject they're attempting to get in the frame at all times. So this is a good way to get that ideal dolly shot. Alright guys, so that is course lock. If you have any questions about the flight mode, put them down in the comment section. Consider subscribing to this channel if you guys find these videos helpful, useful. And again, check out the blog post that I wrote at letusdrone.com/courselock for all the information you ever wanted to know about course lock. Alright guys, take care.